Hello my friends, this is the video that I made on NIO on July 31st of this year, when the price of this asset was, as you can see right here, at $4.51. And my main assumption at this very point was that we have to see the reaction out of the following levels: 0.32 at around $4.5, 0.5 at $4.25, and the golden pocket range somewhere around $4 mark. And depending on the reaction out of these levels, we might anticipate its next movement. And guys, take a look right here. I made my previous video at this very point, and since I made it, we had a perfect reaction out of this level, and we had several waves to the upside that pretty much almost retested this previous swing high. But instead of the breakout, it had a rejection, and it retested again $4.5 mark and had another reaction. And guys, this price action is quite interesting. And to be honest, at this very point, at the current price, we have a potential setup for this stock for the next couple of sessions. Everything I will show you in just several minutes. And guys, if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Patreon account. And you have just 2 tiers if you want to join my Patreon. And guys, here's one of the recent tweets, one of the recent posts that I made in order to show the actions that basically are happening inside the Discord chat. Here's the week of July 7, July 13th. This week, for the first time, I prepared a short list of 6 tickers that, in my opinion, were at very interesting points in their movement, making it easy to enter profitable short trades. It was published on July the 10th. Over the next 2 days, 5 out of the 6 tickers lost between 4% and 16% of their value, offering strong potential profits. Only 1 ticker continued to move sideways. If you can see the ticker list and the original post in the picture. And here is the tickers that were mentioned by me on July the 10th. Moderna, Coinbase, Oracle, SoFi, and ALB. On top of that, UPST was also mentioned at this post. And you can track the price action right after this tickers were posted, and you can prove my words. Additionally, a broader list of more than 20 tickers of interest for potential trading was also published. As usual, I answered many questions from my students and provided a detailed analysis of the following tickers: BayAX, AEO, FI, XYZ, CGC, MSTR, and PLTR. So guys, if you want to be a part of this community, and if you want to benefit a lot from pretty much any conditions of the market, feel free to join my Patreon. So,
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
So guys, and on a bigger scale, let's zoom out a little bit. On a bigger scale, this asset is still quite bullish. We've completed several waves, and to be honest, at this very point, I told you that we have to see the movement to the upside, and as long as this pivot holds, this asset should hit much higher targets and at least retest the levels of $4.5 all the way up to even $5 mark. And it happened exactly as I predicted. That is why, guys, you can rely on my technical analysis as a part of your due diligence. So, and let's begin with some fundamentals. What was the main catalyst, and what is the main catalyst for this asset for the current week? You can see that on August the 1st, just 5 days ago, it was published an update in regards to the deliveries for July. And you can see NIO delivers 21,017 vehicles in July, up 2.53% year on year. And it is not the best result for this year. Previous months were let's say more successful in terms of deliveries, but at the same time it is not the worst months as well. And one of the main part of these sales is definitely their new model line. Let me show you that we also have NIO EV insurance registrations for August, for the week ending August the 3rd, and NIO registered for 3,450 vehicles. And I have to admit that this result is much more interesting. As you can see, for this year, it is pretty much the second largest result, and it is very good to see, especially if you put into the consideration that one of the biggest increase in the sales is the sales of Onvo brand. And guys, take a look right here. This is one of the most, I would say, the most popular Onvo model that drives the sales up. It is Onvo L90, and you can see that NIO's Onvo L90 among top 3 large SUVs in China with weekly sales of almost 2,000 units. And you can see only 2 vehicles, Aito M8 and Aito M9, have basically higher numbers of the sales, and on the third place there is Onvo L90. Very good result, especially if this growth continues. On top of that, guys, I want to show you this picture. This is Onvo ES8 model. As you can see, in my opinion, it is quite, I would say, a beautiful car, and definitely this might also be a decent catalyst, especially if you put into the consideration that it is a luxury model, one of the biggest SUVs on the Chinese market, and the gross margin in this vehicle is much higher than on the sub-brands like Onvo and Firefly. And definitely this might be a very good catalyst, potential catalyst for NIO sales, and this means the share price of NIO might also have a trend continuation to the upside. So, and let's continue with the technical analysis, but before we dive deeper right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, as usual, pretty much in each and every point in time we can have bear count and bull count. And first of all, let me show you a bull count. If my assumption is correct, this potentially might be the bottom of the C wave, and this is quite a decent level, because if I do some measurements, if I project, if I pull the fib extension tool from the top of the A wave to the bottom of the A wave and to the top of the B wave, usually the level, the length of the C wave should be somewhere around 1-to-1 extension of the A wave. This means this could be, and this is, a decent level of support and level of trend reversal for NIO, and it worked perfectly well. With the confluence of 0.32 level, you can see that from this point it gained to its swing high. Let's delete this two, I don't need it for now. It gained about 12% to its value, but unfortunately this movement is not so bullish, and yes, we have a bounce out of this level again, and technically speaking, this bounce that brought about 4% to the value of NIO might be a decent setup, because in this case, from the current price, we have about 3% of downside potential, and you can put your stop loss right here if you want to enter your position at the current price. And the upside potential might be quite substantial, so 3% of downside potential with about 10% of upside potential to the closest price target. This means almost more than, let's say, more than 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio is quite decent, especially if you will dollar cost average your position from this point with an anticipation to hit this target. And if it breaks, if this level holds, and if it breaks this target, guys, we can project the next potential price target for this asset, and this price target is valid until this level holds of $4.47. And let's do some measurement. We've completed all 5 waves, and this means we have to pull fib extension tool from the bottom of the wave to the top of the wave and to the bottom of the retracement. And first of all, I don't want to basically set some unreal price targets. Let's be very conservative, and if this asset breaks this top and this previous swing high, the next point of control is $6.04. It is the confluence, guys, it is the confluence with this yellow line, and it is a round number by itself, $6 mark, which means from the current price we might have up to 31% of upside potential and 3% of downside potential. This means roughly 10 to 1 risk to rewards ratio is very lucrative for this potential trade. But guys, be cautious with this double bottom pattern, because the more touches certain level of support has, the more likely it might be broken with the next touch. This means if this asset retests this level again, the likelihood that it will break it is much higher than the likelihood of its potential bounce to the upside. That is why this setup is quite risky, but the risk-to-reward ratio is very favorable for this trade. So I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.